And this is going to ask for a couple of parameters in there. So the first parameter that we need to add in here, if you notice, we need to get the inventory widget, right? So we're just going to go back to our string arrow. We need a widget here to plug it in there to say what we're trying to do. In here we have the item we wish to remove, right? What I'm gonna do here for now, I'm just gonna create as a local variable. I'm gonna call item to remove, right? And let me just spell it properly. Item to remove, right? I'm gonna plug this here. I'm gonna make sure that this comes from here as well, right? Still can type item. Item to remove, right? And what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna pass the item here as a reference, right? No, it's still wrong. So item to remove, right? It's because for some reason it doesn't allow me to type it. So item target. So I'm just gonna go item target. For some reason it doesn't allow me to rename to item to remove, right? The quantity is, we don't know. So what we can actually do here is actually what we can do is, let me check if we got the stack. Yeah, we do have the stack here. So we can get this item we wish to remove from here. Let's see if that looks weird. Maybe what we want is what we could do. Yeah, let's leave it for now. Let's make sure we can actually put this here. We can always refine this later. And this is false, yeah. So it's not adding. We are removing. So the inventory log here. I'm gonna go back to this to the widget where we do actually the log. I'm just gonna make sure so this is a custom screen size, so we can actually just make sure we can actually work with this so it doesn't get too weird. And what we're gonna do here, let's gonna put 500 for now. If I'm gonna create another variable which is called is adding, right? And we're gonna compile and save. And what we're gonna do here is, this is public, make sure you expose that on spawn, right? So we do play the animation, which is the fade animation up. We do all this kind of stuff, and then insert the color and blah blah blah, and then after we remove the item, right? Next step, what I want to do here is I want to create a branch, right? Let's create a little branch here. I'm going to make sure that is adding. So if is adding is true and if it's false, we want to do a couple of different things. Right now, what we want to do here, if he's adding that, you just want to get the quantity. And I want to set a color, right, and opacity. And I'm just going to make a color here for now. Let's make sure it's green. Yeah. And I'm just going to do something like this. Copy and paste. Do the same thing on, but on false is going to be red. And there's also a third scenario here that I am just trying to anticipate here. If for some reason we are passing the quantity as 0, so is equals 0, right? What we're going to do is a branch. And here I am just going to call not boolean. So if it's not 0, what we're going to be doing here is just if it's not 0, carry on doing whatever you're supposed to do. But if it's 0, means that we don't have a quantity to show. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set visibility to collapsed. And then what I'm going to do here is I want to make sure that everything gets combined to this node. They always have the same behavior, right? And also, if it's a negative value, what you want to do, yeah, yeah, that's fine. Cool. Let's see what's gonna happen here. So if I add this, that's adding, which means that there is something wrong coming up. So on the inventory here, on the player, so we just need to mark on the player inventory item action, make sure that's adding is marked as true. And let's see what's gonna happen. So if I get the item, that should be still coming up as false for some reason. Oh yeah, it's because we have to plug this up here. Forgot about this. So we can actually get the item there. So it's coming 1, 2, and 3, and then there you go. You got the item resource coming up here, which is really nice. So it's coming there, is adding the item, and I haven't tested when we're removing it. I forgot to do that. So if I do this and I drop the item here, let's see, why is the, oh yes, because it's the, come on, it's just gonna drop the item there. So it's doing -1 there, which is cool. Yeah, so it's giving us exactly how many items we're trying to remove. Attempt to read index, let's check why. Function. Not sure exactly why this is happening. Maybe is throwing some kind of error because we are trying to let's see, trying to access item that does not longer exist. So, or maybe an index that does no longer exist. Item quantity. Let's see if it's gonna replicate again. That's something to do maybe with the log system that we're getting there. Try to access index of available length 0 on remove item log here. Just trying to access index of 0. Maybe if I do this, let's see if that's still gonna throw an error when you're trying to remove the item. It's not throwing an error right now. Let's see why. That's because we are trying to at this point access an index of item that has been kind of deleted in here, right? So what we can do here, just to make sure that this works properly, right, is we can just do a quick adjustment where we set as a local variable for now. There you go, guys. So let me just promote this. Let's create a variable called temp quantity, right? And the reason why I'm creating this temp quantity is because the error that's throwing is because we're trying to access index that has been deleted already. So we're trying to get information that does no longer exist in memory. So let's see if this actually is working properly. So that comes in here, drop the item, and that is actually trying to delete the items we're trying to do here. So that is deleted. Not 100% sure if that's actually displaying the quantity in there, because the quantity is coming as 0. So maybe what we could actually do here is, what we can do that is where we set up the temp quantity to receive this. So if that temp quantity is equal 0, then we're gonna set this up again, but in this time we're just gonna get available items. We're gonna get a reference, make sure that we go, well, that's the index we're trying to remove. So I'm just gonna put in here, I am gonna break the members. I only want the stack. So it's gonna get the stack here, that's the quantity we are trying to remove. Come in here, come in there, compile and save. Let's see if it's actually gonna display some items we removing too, right? Yeah, so pretty much that's what we're trying to do here. What we can actually do here is maybe you could do as a negative int. So let's see if that's actually gonna work here. So we make sure that this becomes negative all the time. There you go. So it's -2. So we know exactly how many items is a negative value. So you don't have to do any fancy thing with the text and UI, right? So that is one of the parts what I wanted to do as well. The next one is I just want to make sure that in here, right, if I have a message, right, this is gonna be, let's say, text for now. Yeah, text will do, right? And the reason why I want to do a message is because I may want to display some custom message. Sometimes maybe you want to say, oh, you can't unequip this item, or whatever thing you may think of. So that's what we're trying to achieve at this moment. So in here we got the item name, which is good. So item name, we set up the item name here. So what we're going to do here is that this by now is empty, so we're just gonna get the message, and we're just gonna do a if empty. We're gonna check if the text is empty. We're gonna do a simple branch here. Just gonna do a quick branch here. So if this text is empty, right, the message we try to send empty message means that we can get the item reference. If it's not, then let's set a text so the player can see a message. So what you're going to do here, we're going to do a couple of sets in there. Let's say we want to also set a custom icon. And then the icon, let's go back here, content. Actually, we just a quick shortcut here so you can know where is the icon straight away. Let's say there we go, a message. Yeah. So let's get the icon for message. Let's put this icon in here. So you display a little message. Item name, we're gonna set text to whatever is the message we're trying to display. So we can display a couple of custom messages. And right now we are getting the color only to set up in there. So let's just plug this guy here because we don't care to set up. We don't really want to set up the color. Just want to make sure the message maybe always, let's say, a nice color for message, maybe something like this, right? And let's try to trigger that message, right? So in here, right, the way we trigger that message is just by calling this inventory log. So if I go back in here, I'm gonna plug this here, compile and save. Let's make sure that when you press play, nothing breaks. So we got a message coming up there, right? So you got this coming up, drop, and there we go. Now, what I wanna do here is, just so we can finalize this video, is we're gonna go back to main. We're going to UI. We're gonna go here where it's saying the inventory main here, and where we got the inventory main action here. Remember that we had done something on drop, right? Remember this drop that we done here, that if the player is trying to drop and the item is encrypted, we don't really want to do anything, right? So what I want to do here is in here in the inventory main, is that the inventory main reference? Inventory WBP inventory object, right? So from here we got access to the main inventory, which we can get inventory. I think that's just main inventory. Let me just double check if the browse to assets. Let me just double check if the main inventory. Oh yeah, sorry. We can just get inventory reference. From the inventory reference, what we want to do is get the main inventory widget. Not the main inventory, so you want to get the inventory widget log and drop. We call, so get inventory widget log and drop. then from here, we want to call this method inventory log, right? Just gonna paste it in here. I'm gonna plug this guy here, right? And we don't really need this. We don't need anything. We just need the message, and the message will be you can't drop items equipped. You can drop equipped items, yeah. Let me put it here. You can't drop equipped items. There you go. Compile and save, and let's see. Let me just plug this here. Let's see what is gonna actually try to do. Let's see if he's gonna tell the player the message. So this one should be able to drop, and this is equipped. We should be able to see a message there. You see that? You can't drop equipped items. And that's it, guys. So pretty much that's all for this quick tutorial here. We managed to do a couple of bugs fix and just some refinements that it makes our inventory looks a little bit better. So yeah, see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching.